Now, away from that, pressure is mounting on the government to take concrete steps to address Ghana's worsening urban transport crisis. Transport stakeholders are calling for urgent repairs to deteriorating roads, the deployment of additional buses, and a more effective management of the sector as commuters continue to endure daily delays and rising transport costs. There's more in this report.
Daily commuting in Ghana's major cities is becoming increasingly difficult, with long queues at bus stops turning urban transport into a growing public concern. Speaking on the big issue on ChannelOne TV, Imani Africa President Franklin Cudjoe criticized successive governments for what he described as years of neglect of the transport sector, calling for sustained policy focus rather than short-term fixes.
We should also be making the point that, well, of course, road infrastructure goes hand in hand with proper transport policy. As forever, the state has never been good at managing public transport. We all know that, right? We all know that. So the least the state can do, instead of getting involved in all this transport thing, maybe they should, but I think they should rather focus on fixing the road, making the roads more travelable. Okay. So the state should participate, but the state should be an intelligent state. You see, an intelligent state that participates in the economy is the one that would have prioritized the roads well, and then later put in the buses and compete, because they subsidize those rates for people. This is the way to organize a society.
The Member of Parliament for Lambuzi, Professor Titus Bayo, acknowledged government's big push initiative on road infrastructure, but stressed the need for investment in other transport modes, particularly rail, to ease pressure on urban roads.
I was thinking about population expansion and all of that. Wanting to reduce carnage on your road, we'll have to deploy multiple forms of transportation. But we have consistently emphasized on only road transport. Unfortunately, no matter what we do, we will never be able to solve this problem to the extent that we focus on the roads. The roads are important, but we have to add other modes of transport. You've mentioned the train. Look at what the trains can do to us. If we had commercial train, cargo train, one, the roads will last longer because these heavy trucks crossing to Burkina, crossing to Mali that are damaging our roads will not be there.
Meanwhile, Executive Secretary of COPEG, Duncan Amwa, criticized the absence of a scientific basis for certain transport fares, warning it contributes to inefficiencies and passenger exploitation.
We are not able to scientifically determine the cost per head per kilometer in Ghana. So everything is sentimental, is emotional. From Odoko to La Paz or Kaneshi or whatever. Let's collect 5 cities. No, 6 will do. There's no scientific basis whatsoever. And in fact, we have advocated for that to become the norm for years.
In a separate development, former MPP flag-bearer aspirant Dr. Atta Kennedy has questioned the credibility of disciplinary process within the MPP, calling for accountability to apply to all members, including former President Nana Akufo-Addo.
If we are going to be disciplined, then we should discipline people left, right, and center. I want to suggest that if we are in the mood to discipline, by now we should be calling Nana Akufo-Addo on the carpet for leading the government that he led.
Responding, the party's Director of Communications, Richard Ahialba, said the MPP does not intend to sack Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, but will allow due process to assess his comments before taking any further steps.
There isn't any plan to remove him unless there is a reason to do so. Now we have established he's an asset to the new patriotic party, to Ghana, and so therefore a big personality that we are proud as an MPP to embrace. So however big you are, however small you are, the rules and the provisions of our constitution applies to all the same.